Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to Inspirational Brands Make in India. Through this series, we put the spotlight on various business verticals that are contributing significantly to the government's Make in India mission. And the first brand that we are featuring on the show today is a mobile-based platform that's referred to as the Video Pinterest of India. And to tell us more about the brand, I am joined by the co-founders of Trell, Arun Lodhi, Bimal Karthik Reba and Pulkit Agarwal. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. Let's start from the beginning. All three of you are engineering graduates, and the idea to start a lifestyle community commerce platform came from your Instagram handle. How did it all start, and what inspired you to start your own venture?
So our journey started in 2016 while we was, me and Arun were still in, kind of college, and Bimal was pursuing his, his professional career in Bangalore, right? So we as individuals, like for example, I am a foodie, my co-founders are into backpacking, bike riding, fashion, personal care, etc. We used to scout for a lot of meaningful content on the internet, right? And whenever we used to go on the internet and scout for these basic, problem statements or queries, like how do you kind of dress up for various occasions, be it a traditional party or a wedding, or how do you kind of plan to, kind of visit something around your city as a local getaway, or how do you kind of, cook basic recipe from your, hostel room. And whenever we used to kind of scout for these queries on the internet, right, we used to find ourselves stuck with a lot of clickbaity blogs or content written by, people who are very Americanized in cultural context, right? So we figured it out that, hey, discovering meaningful content on the internet around your lifestyle interests is a huge problem, right? And the content out there is not conducive towards satisfying our needs. And we said that if we are facing this problem, just imagine what will be happening with the 99% of the rest of the audience, which is trying to scout for the similar experiences, right? They'll be having a very horrible experience over there. So we set out to solve for, discovering, meaningful lifestyle content. And we started off with building the community on, the social channels which are present at that point of time. Learned a lot of things about our users, and then launched our own app, right, Trell, in mid of 2017. Yeah, that's how essentially in a nutshell the journey started.
So Pulkit, you launched the app in 2017, and the idea was to make blogging fun and interactive for people. How does the platform operate?
Sure. So when you talk about the platform, Trell is a lifestyle storytelling platform where people come and they share 3-minute vertical videos related to their interests and passion in the categories like fashion, beauty, gadgets, recipes, etc., etc. Right? And essentially, as a consumer or a viewer, you have the ability to follow your favorite influencers, develop connections and relationships over there, and be able to also, purchase products that they're recommending while they're kind of sharing their content itself, right? So in a nutshell, it's a, lifestyle social commerce platform where people do storytelling, make connections, discover, amazing experiences and stories, right, amongst the community. Yeah.
Coming to you, Bimal, you recently launched a social commerce platform called the Trell Shop. Why did you decide to foray into the social commerce space, and how has the response been so far from your users?
Thanks, Lata. I think it's a very interesting question. So if you looked at and followed Trell's journey, the way we typically make a decision to move into a new business model, we actually take signals from the users who are actually using the app. So there was a lot of organic intent already in the app to purchase products and services that the KOLs are presenting it to the end users, right? So today as we speak, we have more than 35 million users who are using the app on month-on-month basis, and a lot of key opinion leaders or influencers on the platform are actually recommending products and services to the end users. Now what happened in the last year was also during the pandemic situation, when most of them were glued to the mobile phones and watching this content, a lot of organic requests started coming in, asking for us to, why don't you provide these products directly on the app itself, right? Because now we are inspired to engage in this purchase journey, but unfortunately these products are not available on your platform. We still have to go outside and buy it. So we got a tremendous amount of request to have these products on the platform, and it came naturally to us, and then we've launched social commerce.
Now, Arun, the pandemic has disrupted businesses and accelerated digital transformation across organizations. How are you harnessing new technologies at this time?
The pandemic actually came more like a boom to us, because more and more people were moving online, they were placing online orders, and we were very quick in adapting new technologies. So talking about some of the technologies used at Trell, we have first and foremost the A/B testing engine, which enabled us to do rapid A/B testing. We could be doing dozens of different tests across various audiences depending on the source which they were required from, what is the gender, what is the age group, where they are coming from. And basically what this enabled us was to take a decision in a matter of hours rather than days, and this was one of the most crucial part which played a very major role in our growth.
Coming back to you, Pulkit, the number of mobile apps have been on a rise since the ban of certain apps. How do you differentiate your brand from others, and what are your brand USPs?
I think after the Chinese app ban, a lot of people kind of try to replicate, the short video space, and they try to almost clone, one of the banned apps, TikTok, in the ecosystem. But when you kind of think about Trell, right, we are a very differentiated platform. We are not about short videos in 30 seconds. We are more like a 3-minute vertical videos platform where people do more of storytelling rather than doing lip syncing and dancing, which they do it on the short video platform. So that is one of the prime difference. Secondly, if you see, the content is meaningful in nature, right? It's not a snacky content where people come and kind of do it for the purpose of entertainment. The content is more infotainment, more detailed oriented for helping you in making a lot of choices about how you want to enhance your lifestyle. Second, when it comes to the TG, right, our users are more oriented towards female. In fact, on the platform, more than 65% of our user base are female in nature, and they kind of share more than 70% of the content on the platform. Now, this itself is very unique in the ecosystem as compared to the other platforms, which are pretty much, male oriented in the kind of way they conduct, right, their businesses. So that's how we essentially position ourselves. And then lastly, when it comes to the monetization, we are primarily a social commerce platform as compared to, the ad tech models which other players, are typically orienting towards. So fundamentally, it's a very different platform meant for a very different purpose, and overall a very distinguished business, right, as compared to the other apps that you see in the market.
Interesting. Now, Bimal, coming back to you, how many brands have you partnered with since the launch of Trell Shop, and in what categories?
If we speak about the number of brands today on the platform, we have close to 500 brands that are already live on the platform. So again, in terms of categories that we currently sell on the platform through Trell Shop, we specifically are selling products or brands that are under beauty, personal care, health and wellness as categories, right? So these are the requests for these brands are higher than any other categories on the platform, and we've started the journey with these 4 categories, right? And in terms of assortment, obviously we have the traditional brands such as HULs and PNJs to the new age brands on the platform, and increasingly over the time, what's happening with us is we're also doubling down as a launch pad for a lot of D2C brands today, right? A lot of D2C brands that are being launched are reaching out to us to tie up with the influencers on the platform and reach out to the end consumers directly, right? And the pandemic situation has only propelled this even further. So every day we see a lot of D2C brands being created in this space, and a lot of KOLs on the platforms are getting an opportunity to engage with these brands and sell it to the end consumers on the platform.
Coming back to you, Pulkit, Trell has witnessed a 500% growth with a total of 100 million plus creators. How has the growth curve been since the lockdown?
I think since the lockdown, it has been tough for the humanity, but at the same time, it has been an incredible opportunity for a digital platform like ours to be able to get closer to our consumers. When we started this year, we were at almost like 1/6 of the current scale that we are currently at. So we have almost like, kind of grown, post lockdown, almost 15x, in the last 1 year, right? So that is how essentially, the things had panned out for us. So it's been incredible to kind of see that kind of growth happening all around.
Finally, Arun, I want to know from you, what is your vision for Trell going forward in the new normal?
Vision is to empower the Indian audience to have a better lifestyle, and the way we want to do that is by enabling them to create a community which shares all its learnings, experiences and stories among each other. So that's our vision, and that's where our day-to-day activities are aligned.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for speaking to CNBC TV18. We wish you all the best for your future endeavors. On that note, we'll slip into a short break, but stay with us as we bring you another inspiring story on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching Inspirational Brands Make in India, and the next brand that we're featuring on the show is enabling businesses to become an intelligent enterprise. And to tell us more about the company, I'm joined by the Senior Vice President and Managing Director of SAP Labs India, Sindhu Gangadharan. Welcome to CNBC TV18, Sindhu.
Thank you so much, Lata. It's great to be talking to you today.
All right, so let me start by asking you about the journey of SAP. The company started its operations in India in 1998 with a small team. Today, SAP Labs India has grown to be the second largest research and development center of SAP. How do you think the company has evolved over the years? You've been associated with the company for almost 20 years now. How do you look back at the whole journey?
So, Labs India is SAP's second largest research and development center outside our headquarters, which is in Waldorf, Germany. And SAP Labs India, Lata, was founded back in November of 1998. And we have a presence, of course, here in Bengaluru, but also in Gurgaon, in Pune, in Mumbai, as well as in Hyderabad. The Bengaluru campus here houses the SAP's Co-Innovation Lab, COIL as we famously call it with our ecosystem. And this is our platform which really is used for co-innovation with our customers as well as with our partners. We are also having the SAP Experience Center, and the SAP Experience Center really showcases the breadth and depth of SAP's product portfolio, particularly in these times where customers come to us to explain and understand how some of the emerging technologies can help them in their transformation journeys. And that's where the Experience Center beautifully helps in those conversations. And besides that, Lata, we also have the SAP Startup Studio. And the Startup Studio is a 5-year-old innovation program, which we've been using to curate a lot of our startups, incubate them, bring them to market, and co-innovate with SAP. And if you ask me, Lata, ours is a high trust, high performance, very diverse, and an extremely inclusive culture that we're all proud of at the SAP family. And the incredible thing about working for an organization like SAP is that it has given me so many ample opportunities to positively influence people's lives, both inside as well as outside the organization. And we really work hard to live up to our purpose to make the world run better.
Interesting, Sindhu. And the company has definitely come a long way. And now let's talk about your product portfolio. SAP offers innovative enterprise solutions and products to support end-to-end business processes. Could you elaborate on the different intelligence solutions that you offer?
What is very unique to SAP Labs India, Lata, is that we are the only lab outside the headquarters where we represent the entire breadth of SAP's product portfolio. And through this, we contribute to, of course, flagship products, be it SAP HANA, which is our platform for next generation application and analytics, or SAP S/4HANA, which is the real-time ERP suite for digital businesses. And we also hold a lot of product responsibilities, be it in the customer engagement space or human capital management and analytics or IoT, you name it, right?
All right. Now, Sindhu, you have already spoken about the SAP Innovation Center Network in Bengaluru and the Startup Accelerator Initiative. So apart from being platforms that help explore, develop, and co-innovate to create new technologies, how else are they fueling transformative growth at SAP?
Great question, Lata. And if you ask me, the Innovation Center Network, in very simple words, is SAP's think tank. I mean, that's how I would kind of put it in a nutshell. And there are 9 Innovation Center Network locations across the globe, and we're very proud that we are housing one of them right here in Bengaluru at our Labs India campus. Now, if you, what does that mean, right? And what happens exactly behind the scenes at the ICN? So this is a place where, if you ask me, innovation happens extremely fast. The pace is so fast. And what I mean is, if there is an emerging transformative technology, then you can be sure that our ICN is investigating that technology, and their role is really to help keep SAP prepared to incorporate those emerging technologies right into our solutions, but at the same time also helping our customers and giving them that comfort that they don't have to worry about being left behind in whatever way in that technology adoption curve, which is so vibrant and which is so promising here in the country. And if you look at the Startup Accelerator program, what we call as the SAP Startup Studio, right from its inception, which was back in 2016, we have enabled to scale over 33 early as well as growth stage enterprise tech startups and also bring them to market. And as we currently speak, we have 18 of these startups who are currently co-innovating with us. And through the Startup Studio, I mean, I've just seen how we've evolved. It was initially looked at more from a startup incubation, but right now it's more of an open innovation program. And that's how the journey has been over the last few years.
And SAP has been working as an enabler and an exemplar of sustainable business operations and practices. You recently collaborated with UNICEF India to provide career counseling to young students in the country. Tell us more about that and other CSR initiatives.
You mentioned our partnerships with various organizations. I want to call out, we partnered with NASCOM Foundation. We also partnered with UNDP India, Rise Against Hunger, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, because there was the actual need, right? We needed to deliver masks, we needed to deliver ventilators, medical kits, food, like I said. So all this was part of the work that we did. I have to say, we're very proud of our award-winning digital literacy initiative called Code Unnati. I mentioned it earlier as well, which was created back in 2017. And the idea with Code Unnati is, how can we propel that digital inclusion drive in the country? And I have to say, we're very proud with Code Unnati. SAP has trained over 1 million children across 14 states on our digital curriculum. And we also launched the Girls Power Tech Initiative. And the whole idea is, how can we inspire girls from some of the weaker socioeconomic backgrounds to really focus on STEM, right? And to take up an education in STEM. We also partnered with our customer Mahindra and Mahindra for Project Nanhi Kali, which was also something that we were very proud to do in 2019 already, to provide quality education and digital access to several of the girl children coming from the underprivileged areas of the society.
Well, great initiatives by SAP, Sindhu, and the need of the hour, especially at these unprecedented times. Now, COVID-19 has impacted businesses across the world, and technology has been our savior. How is SAP Labs India navigating through these bleak times?
Yeah, so when the pandemic hit us, Lata, for us, our primary focus was first and foremost our employee safety, no doubt about that. But at the same time, making sure that our business continuity was not impacted in any way. And if I look back, it's very clear, right? Why we were able to tide over those times so seamlessly is because SAP has made significant investments in crisis management to literally tackle any challenge and respond to any kind of disruptive incidents. I mean, COVID came along, but any of these kind of incidents. And we have a very strong business continuity plans in place to really ensure that our services are not disrupted. And this is worldwide, right? Worldwide operations. And if you just think about the magnitude of the kind of work that we drive among the businesses that we support, 77% of the world's transactions touch an SAP system. And so it is our highest responsibility that we need to ensure that our customers' business systems are always operational.
Great. Now, finally, Sindhu, before I let you go, I want to know from you, India is one of the fastest growing markets for SAP. What are your growth and expansion plans for India market, especially in the post-COVID world?
Lata, when I took charge of SAP Labs India, I clearly set a goal to make Labs India the most innovative place in the SAP universe, and where we are absolutely focused on customer first, so customer centricity, where we're also very clear that thought leadership needs to flourish, and where our employees work in a highly diverse but a highly inclusive environment. And I have to say, in the last year, we've made significant strides forward towards exactly this goal. But at the same time, we all know there's even more to be done, and we're totally focused on driving that forward.
All right. Thank you, Sindhu, for speaking to CNBC TV18. We wish you all the best for your future endeavors. Well, that's all we had for you on this episode of Inspirational Brands Make in India. But do join us again on the next episode where we'll take you through the journey of yet another inspiring business. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.